Has somebody ever told you the definition of insanity? So if you're not following what's actively going on in the Gacha content creation scene, then first of all, bless your soul, and second, then you might have not heard of somebody named Plazookas. Plazookas is a smaller content creator that got a huge amount of attention by making videos talking about how free-to-play content creation is not good for Wuthering Waves and you should not trust these free-to-play content creators. In short, don't trust any mint pickers. My god, mint picker has essentially become a gacha slur. The N-word? Nah, I prefer the M-word. But in short, Plazookas has basically caught a bunch of negative attention for just not understanding anything about content creation. He is completely clueless, as he's basically calling out Tectone for not spending any money on the game.
Then again, how transparent are you being if you're just trying to play this game? And I think a lot of the reasons why he's playing the game is maybe because Kuro Games is making sure that he is free to play. Maybe he has contractual obligations for his persona now to be more free to play friendly. I don't know.
And because he's not spending any money on the game, that means he is maybe contracted by Kuro Games to not spend any money? Huh? You have completely lost me there. Plazookas basically can't even grasp basic concepts about making content, specifically around the gacha game. And also the concept of just playing free-to-play in general. You can't fault people for wanting to play a game that is free and then not spend money on it. Even if you aren't going to spend money on a game that is free, you inherently still help out the company by basically just playing the game. You are a statistic for them. And most importantly, you're still a customer. And now, let's not forget the fact that Wuthering Waves is a gacha game. And if you're a content creator that makes videos about Wuthering Waves, you have this in mind. When it comes to Wuthering Waves, and specifically gacha content, creators do share a good amount of responsibility in sharing awareness about the predatory nature of gacha games. There's inherently no problem in spending money on a gacha game. But there is a problem if you're spending money you cannot afford to spend. That's where they get you. And that's how you get in crippling debt over pixels in the video game. But overall, when it comes to gacha games, most of the content that you see is not necessarily about pulling, usually when a new character comes out, but overall, it's about the story, the gameplay, anything new that's in the game, and so on. Whaling content is absolutely still around, but they also make it clear that this is not something anybody should do. For seasoned gacha veterans, whaling content is incredibly boring, since essentially it's only exciting when you're new to gacha games. If you're not used to seeing people spend a ton of money on a video game, you're gonna sit there and absolutely lose it. Like, you'll be standing up and no weighing in real life, bind booms going off left and right. But once you see it a few times, it's nothing special, because well, gacha games have a pity system, so you are guaranteed to get what you want, so you're game pulling for something that is guaranteed. Once you realize that, whaling content really loses a lot of its entertainment value. It is obviously still fun to see these characters at C6 maxed out and just see how absolutely busted they are. However, that's not really relatable content. With the release of Genshin Impact, free-to-play content became way more popular, since Genshin Impact basically broke the normie barrier. A lot of players that started out playing Genshin Impact wasn't planning on spending $1,000 on every new character just to get them maxed out or even just get one character. And the idea of basically playing free-to-play, grinding up, saving for characters you like, being careful with your pre-roll gems, became way more popular content. Millions of people were now exposed to gacha games, and they were just not used to how expensive these games can get if you really wanted to get everything. So, being a content creator, and being a large content creator, and specifically being free to play, was a huge benefit, because one, people could not only relate to you, but they could also relate to your content and your account. It's like watching somebody else's journey throughout the game, as you can follow along with the content creator about what they're going to do next. And it was also relatable content to you in the regards of the fact that you are probably maybe even free to play, or you spend a little bit of money. Or better said, from the perspective of, for example, if somebody was a content creator, people can relate to the state of your account. And relatability is a big factor in viewer retention. And your active viewership is the most important thing when you're growing a channel. Sure, subscribers are great, but a high subscriber count doesn't really matter if your viewers aren't actually watching your videos. And that's the job of a content creator. Get views, get ad revenue, get high concurrent view counts so sponsors get interested in sponsoring you, so on. And there's plenty of other ways to actually expand your brand. Content creation is not just making videos.
And it doesn't just involve gacha games, it involves all forms of games. Just not supporting games principally is my issue if you're in this hobby, because it indicates that you are here for all the wrong reasons. And if you are here for all the wrong reasons, there are so many other reasons why you could be here. And most of them are not good. Because if you're just here for the games, then most likely you're a good person and you mean well. But if you're not, well, that means something else, doesn't it?
But that's how it starts out. Content creation starts out as a hobby. There's no other way to put around it, because there's simply just no way where you can just start and just make a shit ton of money. That's not how it works. Most of the time, people are just making content because it's fun. And with good content, hard work, and some luck of the draw with the algorithm, you will eventually see some growth. And most people, even with a large following, don't even commit to content creation full time until they are really secure in their position. Most people keep their occupation, say studying, having a 9 to 5, a part-time job, something along those lines, until content creation can give them enough financial security. So content creation remains a side gig for the majority of the time until you don't have any dependency from other sources of income. So even as much as you are close to making it a career, you can't treat it as a career yet. Although you can definitely work hard to work towards getting to that goal where you can get enough financial security from content creation. Eventually, if you do get enough financial stability from content creation and so on, it will be your job. So for some people that might be demotivating because it's not the same anymore. Now you gotta treat it as a job. Now for some people, it's great because they can get to do what they've always wanted to do for a living. But that still doesn't mean that there are no downsides. Content creation is by nature a very isolated job in a traditional sense, and also specifically for gaming content creation. Working a job where you're at home can be very taxing, especially if you don't have a social circle. And also depending on how much you do, like how much you stream, how many hours you stream a day, how many videos you're pumping out too, are you editing those videos yourself? There's a lot of work that goes into all of this, and I didn't even mention half of it. So with all of that being said, Plazookas thinks Tectone is getting paid by Kuro Games to play the game free-to-play to get other people to spend money because this guy's playing free-to-play and he can beat the content, so I can spend money and beat the content. But you're also calling him out for not spending money on the game, and therefore you're not supporting Kuro Games. While again, you're saying he's contractually obligated to play free-to-play as well. It doesn't matter if they're statements, claims, or speculation. It doesn't make any coherent sense, because you're basically putting him in a catch-22 that disproves the other. And if you think about it for 2 seconds, it's a closed case. And Plazookas just does not understand how content creation works in the slightest. Because guess what? Yes, you can have a job where you enjoy the game and where you choose to do something like going free to play without actually being sponsored or contractually obligated to play a certain way. And Plazookas, my god, you need to just move on. You are not doing yourself any favors. You're not fighting a war, you're fighting a war within your head at this point because your own logic is failing you. The reason why you are ending up in these situations is because you believe in a philosophy that contradicts itself while also not being able to be multi-applicable to other situations. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm just a dude that enjoys making videos, and that's it. This is probably gonna be my last quote-unquote drama video for a bit, since I just want to make videos about the future of Wuthering Waves and talk about game direction for both Genshin Impact and other gacha games and so on. That's what I want to do. But even if you did like listening to this video, please consider liking and subscribing. And the first person that leaves a fish emoji gets their comment pinned. And I'll see you next time when I find something that pisses me the fuck off. Peace.